Okay, relative clauses usually are um, the ones that we usually replace when we say who, which, that, right? And usually that is a relative clause, but I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Okay, meanwhile, I think my computer is, I don't know what happened with my computer, but I will open one more time. So meanwhile, I'm gonna share the platform. So when we talk about relative clauses, oh sorry, relative pronouns, we have, for example, but there are two of them, relative clauses and relative pronouns. For example, I have a friend who comes from Japan, right? And Japan is a country that has an interesting history. One of them is that, right? And who is another relative clause as well. Okay.
Hello. Do you like sushi? Do you know what sushi is? Sushi is a food that is made of fish and rice. This kind of sentence helps us put two ideas together. Let's study more sentences like these.
Okay. For example, we use a subject relative clause to give more information about people, places, or things. This is, I have a friend who comes from Japan. Who is the relative clause? When we want to talk about a person. And that is for both of them. Japan is a country that has an interesting history. That is also sometimes used to refer to talk about a person. And then we have relative clauses also help us to make two sentences into one. I have a friend, she comes from Japan. Japan is a country, it has an interesting, right? So that's one example of a relative clause, but also relative clause can be like this one. Who and that's, no, sorry, yes, are the subject of the relative clause. We use that with places or things, and for example, Marshmallows is a movie. It's really funny, for example. And this is a sushi bar. It's always crowded, sorry. And relative pronouns and relative clauses. Relative pronouns have only one form. For example, Amy is a student who studies every day. Or Jean is a student who doesn't study every day. But the verb in the relative clause is singular when the subject relative pronoun goes with a singular noun. For example, when the subject relative pronoun goes with a plural noun, it is plural. Emily is a teacher who loves to teach online. Emily and Professor Brown are teachers, right? For example, over here we have who. The subject relative pronoun goes with a singular noun, con un sustantivo singular. When the subject relative pronoun goes with a plural noun, is plural. But let me share now my presentation. Now it's ready. We're gonna check about that. We're gonna check that one. And I'm sorry. So we're gonna see some examples here. For example, what do these words mean? Choose from the box and write sentences with these ones. For example, an architect is someone who designs, I'm sorry, designs buildings, right? A customer is someone who, a customer, I think here, uh, buys something from a shop, right? Who buys something from, and we have something like that. A burglar. A burglar. Over here we can find steals from a shop, right? Is someone who breaks into the house to steal things, something like that. A coward, un cobarde, right? Number 4. A coward is someone who is not brave, who is not brave. A tenant is someone who pays rent to live somewhere. Tenant is like inquilino, right? And a tenant is someone who pays a rent to live somewhere. And a shoplifter is a kind of burglar, una especie de alguien que roba. A shoplifter is someone who steals from a shop, que roba de una tienda, ¿no? Something like that. These were some examples only. For example, relative clauses with who, that, which, right? Quién, cuál, okay, qué, cuál, something like that. But the same, there is relative clauses with and without who, that, or which. It's possible. The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor. The one that lives, right? We can use only that. The woman lives next door to me. That's different. Who is the subject? The woman over here. There. Where are the keys that were on the table? The keys were on the table, right? And the keys which were okay or that were in the table. It's possible to use that. So also, it is possible to change. The woman who I wanted to see was away on holiday. I wanted to see the woman, right? It's not necessary to use who. And did you find the keys that you lost? And the meaning of that is you lost the keys. So note the position of preposition to, in, and for. Tom is talking to a woman. Do you know her? Okay, but we're gonna practice with some of them. Also, some relative clauses are whom. Okay, probably of yeah. Furthermore, we're gonna check out this in the other lessons. Sorry, about relative pronouns. Okay, and for example, relative clauses with whose, whom, and where. It's possible also. Well, so but no worries. We're gonna check just in the other levels, of course, with more detail, with some examples as well. Okay. Now let's review, let's work with relative pronouns. Let me share my screen and we're going to work together. Relative pronouns basically is about who, that, which, where, something like that. Okay, let me open this one, please, and let's work with this. Okay, just in case, I'm going to send the link to the chat box of this one, and okay, there we go. Okay, my friend Caroline what do you think is who, whose, which, where? When we talk about a person,
Who?
who? Yes. Okay, and the next one, children. In which that, what do you think is? Los niños en las familias que han sido rotas.
That?
That. Okay. Whose? Because plural, right? Whose? The students didn't understand. What do you think is?
What?
Yes. If you can't find a hotel where I stayed, it must be where, right? But I can tell you. What do you think is? Oops. Ah, yes. Yeah, I get confused with who and whom. Okay, the computer problem. What do you think is? That or which?
Which?
Yes. Okay. This is the book everyone has been waiting for. That or what?
That?
Good. The woman to who or to whom?
Who?
Whom? A quién? Okay. But don't worry. The train goes to Madrid from platform 2. Leaves from platform 2.
Where?
Where? Not really. Probably is which. My neighbor, mi vecino, speaks 3 languages. It's a translator. Mi vecino quien habla 3 idiomas es un traductor. Who or that? Who? His desks are very old. His desks, I think, está mal acá, ¿no? His desks are very old. Need to be changed.
That?
Which? Okay. Let's continue now, please. But we're gonna practice with some others, especially relative clauses. Doesn't have to be difficult, but let's practice with some examples from the platform. Okay. So we have to read these questions and answer. Choose a correct option. Read each sentence, click on the box and choose the correct answer. What do you think is the answer?
Who is?
Okay. Amy is a student who's on time. Okay, probably. Let's continue with the next one. Number 2.
That is?
That is. And the next one?
Who is?
Who is? Okay. And the next one, number 4.
Who are?
Who are? And this one? What do you think is?
That have?
Sorry, that have?
That have.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. What do you think is the answer? What is the answer in number 5?
That have?
Okay. And 6?
Who are?
Okay.
Who are?
Okay.
That has.
That has. Okay. What do you think is? Mr. Brown and Miss Davis are teachers. Plural. What is the answer?
Who are?
Who are, okay. The last one.
That have. That has.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's check. There are some mistakes. Probably the last one, no, this one, the previous. Paul and Laura are people who are, okay. We use have to talk about things that belong to people, right? I think it's who have a lot of friends. That's the answer. But anyway, let's continue. Okay. Let's continue, please. There is. Okay, let me share this one, please. Okay. Can you see this, my screen?
You may open the envelopes containing your papers. The exam starts now. You may open the envelopes containing your papers. The exam starts now.
Okay, the man.
Who?
Who?
No.
Sorry. What is the answer there? Mr. Bean takes the exam.
That.
Okay. Which? Okay. What about that? I know. The man what do you think is where's blue is writing?
That.
That it's possible also to use who, right? But much better to say who because we are talking about specifically a certain person. What is the missing word?
Who?
Okay. Yes. What's miss? Oh no, sorry. Yeah, what is the answer? The man tries to hide his exam paper.
Which?
Which? Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. The next one. Okay, what about this one?
That.
That. Very good.
Two minutes, ladies and gentlemen. At the end, with those who answer the green calculus papers, please put them in the green box.
What is that?
And that.
That. No, who? Because we are talking about
In the
people.
green
Also,
box.
sometimes we can use that.
And those who answer the white trigonometry papers, please put them in the white box.
And those.
Who?
What is that? And those.
Who?
Who? Very good. Okay.
Stop writing, please. I said stop writing. Will you stop writing?
Okay. So just one more, and then we're gonna practice with the other one, which is okay, I'm gonna show my presentation, but before I want you to work. Okay, let's work with something. This is last grammar of, where is that? Okay, just a moment, please. Let me share now. This is easy. Okay. Well, what about this number one? What do you think? Which do you think is the correct answer? Read the sentence, please.
People who take exercise feel better.
Okay, number two. The boy. Okay, you will read the sentences, please.
The boy who has Blonde hair is my brother.
Okay. Okay, what is number 3?
Shoes that are too tight are bad for you.
Okay. Number 4.
A diet which has lots of free food is good for you.
Okay, number 5.
Don't go to place which are full of smoke.
And then the last one.
And the girls who they are running go to my school.
Who they? Okay. Let's check. The last one, right? That. Now everything's okay. Okay. Now we're gonna work with the other grammar part. So I hope that you know it is not very difficult, but if you study more, it can be a bit difficult. Otherwise, it's just not very difficult. Okay, let me open, please. Okay, can you see my screen? No, right? Sorry. Now you can see. Let's study some things related to tag questions. Tag questions. For example, this isn't dangerous, is it? It's a tag question. But we have to notice something special about tag questions. The interesting thing about the interesting fact is, okay, for example, this isn't dangerous, right? It must be the statement. We say the statement is first part, and the question is, of course, the tag question. And in that case, we're gonna use this isn't dangerous, is it? This isn't dangerous is negative, and the tag question is positive. And the same will happen with the other ones. Read, please. And so,
Isn't this fun?
continue, please.
This parachute work, don't they?
How about this one?
We won't get hurt, will we?
Okay. Okay, and you don't have to do this before. You haven't done this before. We didn't do that this one, right? No hemos trabajado con este, ¿verdad? En so, ¿sí? Tag questions. Okay. And notice this. For example, these parachutes work, don't they? Positive and negative statements. You haven't done this before, have you? It's another one, the other one that also in that case, it's different. So you haven't done this before is negative and have you is positive, right? So when the statement is negative, the tag question will be positive. Usually, we're gonna use the same auxiliary verb in the statement, but if the statement doesn't have an auxiliary verb or something like that, we have to use do like this, right? Because these parachutes work, for example, right? And we don't have an auxiliary verb. In that case, we're gonna use do or don't, doesn't, it depends on what we are talking about. And you haven't done this before, have you? For example, that's another one. We won't get hurt, will we? And this isn't, or it isn't this fun. All of those tag questions have something in common. The statement would be negative or positive, but depending on that, the tag will be positive or negative, but it never will be the same. The statement will be negative or positive, and the same the answer. For example, use negative yes no questions and tag questions to check information you believe to be true or comment in a situation. I pull the bubble cord, don't I? For example. I pull the blue cord, sorry, don't I? The next one, don't I pull the blue cord? So it's interesting. There are something similar in both examples. I pull the blue cord. Don't I is a tag question. Don't I pull the blue cord is different. Both sentences speaker believes that he should pull the blue cord and wants to check this information, right? In that case, but usually we use the first one, like the first one. And then we have the negative yes no questions. When we talk about negative yes no questions, over here we can find out this isn't the view great, for example. The view is great, isn't it? Okay, so yes no questions is different. It isn't the view great, but yes or no we can say the view is great, isn't it? It's another question, right? But and also we can use negative yes no questions, like affirmative yes no question, negative yes no questions begin with the form of be or auxiliary verb such as have. As I said, we can use have, we can use do, like, or has or does, depending on of the person in the subject, and will, can, or should. Please, can you read?
Aren't sharks vegetarians?
Okay, the next one.
Haven't you had lunch yet?
Haven't you had lunch yet? Yes. And the next one, please.
Can you swim somewhere else.
Okay.
Didn't you see the shark warning sink?
Okay. Well, that question then, that question, sorry, for in this case, we can form tag questions with statements. The statement expresses an assumption. The tag means right, or isn't that true? In Spanish, we can say, está lloviendo, no es así, right? Something like that. In English, happens similar with, okay, with those examples. But what about this? This is a long way down, isn't it? Right? That's the statement. Or in Spanish, we can say es la oración misma, ¿no? But we want to agree someone our ideas. Queremos que alguien esté de acuerdo con nuestra idea. So in that case, we will have, it's a long way down, isn't it, right? And the tag question is no es así, something like that in Spanish. Sorry, I went the wrong way, didn't I, for example? That's another example of that. And the statement is that positive and the tag is negative. So always. Then if the statement verb is affirmative, the tag verb is negative. If the statement verb is negative, the tag verb is affirmative. We're gonna work in that way. So this rope will hold me. Want it? Okay. And negative, affirmative and negative. The statement is affirmative and the tag question is negative. Oh, sorry, it's the opposite, right? The statement is affirmative and the tag will be negative. So also, you won't talk for too long, will you? For example, that is the same, right? But in this case, it's a bit, yeah, negative and positive. Also, we have to notice something. If we have some auxiliary verbs like will, have, has, all of those things, we have to use the same in the tag, and in the statement probably will be something similar. Over here we have the negative one and the positive. So tag questions form the tag with form of be or an auxiliary verb, such as have, do, will, can, or should. Use the same auxiliary that is in the statement. We have here, you bought life insurance, didn't you? For example. And the next one is, he has done this before, hasn't he? He isn't joking, is he? For example, right? Negative and positive tag. In the tag, only use pronouns when the subject of the statement is that, the subject of tag is it. So it's also interesting when we have that, we're gonna use it. So like Tom isn't enjoying this. Is Tom, or we can say no, right? Is it, or is he in this case? Sorry. But that now is different. That wasn't my parachute, was it? Okay, and you can swim, can't you? Now let's work, please. Let's use can you can do, I think, I'm sure. The tag question for each number, please. Let's do it as okay, just think about that, please. I'm gonna give you some couple of minutes. Like you will have 4 minutes. Okay, sorry. Okay, please. Ah, no. Just let's work 2 more minutes. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, number 1, please. Let's read.
This is high enough, isn't it?
Yes, this is high enough, isn't it? And the next one?
The rope won't break. Um, will it?
Okay. The rope won't break. Will eat. Very good.
We don't have enough food.
We don't have enough food.
Do have?
Not really. We have to use, recuerda que tenemos que usar el mismo, ¿no? Sería do we, ¿verdad?
Okay.
Yes, the next one.
He didn't write the helmet. Did he? She wasn't giving us the right parachute. Has she?
Yes, she hasn't, right? Okay, and what about number 6?
We should check the map. Should we?
Okay. In this case, remember, it's positive and it must be negative, right?
Okay, shouldn't we?
Shouldn't we? Yes.
Our guide, Bob, does this all the time.
Okay, and what do you think is?
Doesn't he?
Yes, very good, doesn't he? Okay, como ves, esta question no es nada difícil. It's easy. So also it depends on the intonation when we use tag questions. We use tag questions in conversations when you expect the other person to agree with you. In this type of tag question, the voice falls onto the tag. We have here, you didn't wear a seatbelt, did you? Right? The speaker is checking information he believes is correct. He expects the listener to answer and agree. You're right, I didn't wear a seatbelt. That hurts, doesn't it? Right, that's intonation. That hurts, doesn't it? So, this type of tag question is more like a statement than a question. The listener can just not say, right? To show that he or she is listening and agrees. And then also we have the intonation. Tag questions can be used to get information. This type of tag question is more like a yes/no question, like a yes over there. The voice rises at the end and you usually get an answer. This isn't dangerous, is it? Well, sometimes there are sharks. The speaker wants to confirm his information because he is not sure it is correct. Right? This isn't dangerous, is it? Well, sometimes there are sharks. Okay, read this one, please.
And this parachute will open before we land, won't it?
Okay. Want it, right? In this case, sorry. The next one, continue, please. That's
what they told us in this skydiving class.
Yes, the skydiving class. So also here is answering, right? This parachute will open before we land, won't it? That's what they told us in the scheduling class. Okay. So, continue reading, please. Over here, sorry, before. Answer negative yes no questions and tag questions the same way you answer affirmative yes no question. For example, there's a hospital nearby, isn't there? You're gonna say yes, there is. The answer is okay, is yes if the information is correct. And there is doesn't your parachute work, for example? No, it doesn't, right? It's like a question. The answer is no if the information is not correct, right? I can say it isn't raining, is it? No, you can say it's raining, right? Or no, it isn't, something like that. Ils don't buy today. He wants to know the information. No, no, we don't. We just like to hug. You know what are the eels, right? Anguilas. Okay, that's an example, but you have to write dialogues for each picture using tag questions or negative yes no questions and answer for each picture. Please think about those two pictures and try to create a conversation. I'm sorry, how do you think you can create some story for these two pictures? Think about that, please. Okay. Okay, are you ready? Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
For example, the octopus.
The octopus does
Doesn't hurt, maybe, right?
doesn't hurt.
Or
Isn't it?
isn't it? Yes. Or can be you don't hurt, right? It can be like that. You don't hurt. Do you? And the answer can be probably no. I only like to play with, I don't know, something like that. And how about this number two? How do you think we can?
Mm,
Okay, like maybe it looks like a piranha, right? You can say you don't bite, do you, or something like that? No, I don't bite. I don't know. Okay, but now we're gonna practice some with some tough questions. Okay. Okay. For example, this one. And now please choose what are the which how can we match that? What about number one? They won't expected me to make a speech. Which letter is that? A, B, C, D, E, F.
D.
Okay. And number two.
E.
E. Three.
F.
Okay. Number 4.
A,
A. 5.
C,
Okay. Number 6.
B,
B. Okay. Let's check. Very good. It is correct. Let's continue, please, with the next link. Okay. Wish and tag question. For example, I wish we have a cat. I wish we have a cat, or I wish we had a cat. What do you think is number 1?
I wish we have a cat.
Okay. I wish we had a cat, probably. The next one, what do you think is? Just in case, what do you think is?
Say wishes he didn't have to share a room with his brother.
Okay. And a lot of people in the UK, what do you think is there?
Which they lived.
Okay. Number 4. Let's try that.
Mom and Dad wish the last family holiday didn't be so expensive.
Okay, mom and dad. The first, the second, or the third? Which one? Which do you think is first, second, or third? I'm sorry, I couldn't. Which one is that? This first, this the second, or the third?
Second,
Second, okay. And how about the next one? Number 5. What do you think is the number 5? Okay, sorry, what do you think is number 5?
The first,
The first one, okay. Number 6.
the first,
Okay, let's see. What about number 7?
the second,
Okay, number 8.
mm,
What do you think is?
third,
Okay, number 9.
third,
Okay, the next one.
first,
Okay, number 11.
first,
Okay, the next one. Let me move, please. Wow. What is number 12? Number 12 is, I'm not
third,
in the right classroom. The first one, it must be a question, right? I'm not negative, positive.
yes,
What
yes, the first,
The first, okay. What about 13?
first,
First. Number 14.
um,
What is the next one? Number 14. Sorry, what is number 14?
Can eat. The second.
The second one. Okay, number 15. What is number 15?
Third. The third.
Third one. Okay, number 16.
The third one.
The third one. Okay. 17. What do you think is 17?
The third. No. First.
First one. Number 18.
The second.
The second one. Okay. And what do you think is number 19?
The first.
The first one. Will they? William, yes, negative, positive. Okay, what about 20?
The third.
The third one, will you? And 21, what about 21?
The first.
You like that football team. Okay. And what about 22? What is 22?
Third.
The first or the third?
Third.
Third.
Yes.
Okay. What about 23? We ate some nice ice cream.
The first.
The next one.
The third.
The third one. And 25.
The first.
Okay, wow, there were many questions, but let's check. Just some mistakes. Let's check it out. Wow, the most of the answers were correct. That's good. For example, number 4, mom and dad wish the last family holiday didn't be so expensive. Mom and dad wish the last family holiday hadn't been. That wish the last family holiday wasn't so expensive. So we have to choose one of them. What do you think is the first or the third one? Probably this one, right? And how about number 5? Max and William wish they can swim. Max and William wish they could swim.
The second.
The second, okay. And number 8.
The first.
The first one. And 12.
The third.
The third. And 21.
And the third,
The third one. Okay. Let's check. There are two. Okay. This must be this one, right? And this one. They wish they saw them. Ah, no, yes, of course. They wish they'd seen the match. I think there's that. Let's check it out, and I think everything is correct. Yes. Okay, and so I don't know if you have any questions about the platform, about the homeworks, about something. By the way, then this week will be the last. Let me see the calendar, please. A moment. I just want to be sure if the information that I'm giving you right now is correct or not. But let's check it out. This is August. Okay. Let me see. Today is. Yes, my computer is very slow. But yeah, this is the last. This is gonna be the last week. So, and so yeah, we have to finish today. No, sorry, this week with all the lessons, and please don't. Let's check your homeworks and everything, and then we're gonna see each other tomorrow. If you don't have any question, please, if you can fill up the survey.
it's done, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, no, yes, tomorrow we have the call, and on Wednesday we're gonna continue with this. And yeah, we have to start the lesson number 5 and work with that. So, okay, and so it was nice to have classes with you as always. See you tomorrow. Bye, and so
Bye, teacher. Good night.
good night. Bye bye.